A warm welcome from Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Tashkent has one of the most beautiful metro systems in the entire world. Some of the metro stations here look like opera houses, art exhibitions and museums. And that's exactly why I picked out some of these metro stations and will show them to you in this video today. Follow me. Here is the entrance with a mosaic. We go in here, Mustaliki Maidani or something like that. And you see guys, this could just as easily be in an opera house, I'd say. Yes? White. Incredible details. By the way, this beautiful station was opened in 1977 and was called Vladimir Lenin Station until 1991, but after the collapse of the Soviet Union, it was renamed Mustaliki Maidani. On the way to the next metro station, I'll tell you a couple of things, show you a couple of things. First, here's the Uzbek flag, a huge shopping mall. And on the other side you can see the Olympic Center. So this building is just for everything related to the Olympics, for athletes and so on. We're heading to the next metro station and I wanted to tell you something on the way. I talked here with a few younger Uzbeks, and that was interesting. Some of them couldn't speak Russian but rather German, English. It seems Russian is gradually disappearing among the younger generation. The first country of the former Soviet Union where young people hardly speak Russian, or, well, what does hardly mean? I mean, a lot of them still speak Russian, but not all of them. I haven't experienced that in any other country. Otherwise, Russian was always preferred. Jetzt schauen wir uns erstmal die. And where the stations Pachtakor and Chenavay meet. The station is going to be amazing. But guys, stay tuned until the end. The last chance. The absolute highlight. It's already very modern, but I think it's definitely gonna get even more special in a moment. Hey guys, I just almost slipped on vomit, how disgusting. On the side where it slopes down, we immediately see a purple mosaic. Soviet trains. You can see the walls, mosaics, and even the trains, all light blue. It's a beautiful station in my opinion. Also, Uzbekistan's metro stations are extremely clean. It almost feels sterile, to exaggerate a bit. You see, this metro station is distinguished by the Soviet mosaics to my left and right. So every metro station has its own special features. Here it's the mosaics. It continues on the other side. Let's see how it looks here. The special thing is not that it's very beautiful here, but that we're in a metro station, because in Germany we think of metro stations as very unpleasant places, I would say, and that's why it's something special here, because you really feel comfortable here. As I said guys, two metro stations meet here, which means we're now going down to the other side as well, and when we get to the bottom, you'll see that it continues to be spectacular with extremely high and beautiful ceilings. Quick fun fact, this metro station is called Ali Chenavay. Ali Chenavay is considered the founder of early Turkish literature in the Turkish-speaking world and is very, very important in the Stan countries. For example, in Uzbekistan, the province and the city of Navay were named after him. Yeah guys, that's really intense. You could also be in a church here, or, like I told you, in an art gallery. That wouldn't surprise you either, but yeah, it's really impressive. A small addition to the last stop we saw, those were two different stations. So the one with those church-like arches was one station and the one with the mosaics was another station. So two stations in one tunnel, you could say. I actually thought that was a single metro station. Of course, not every single station will make it into the video, but even the bad stations actually look pretty good. I'll show you one now that's quote unquote one of the worst ones. And yeah, as you can see guys, absolutely not bad. Nice mosaics. Right, I just passed through the station quite a lot here because I want to show you the special ones.
But exactly.
I just wanted to show you that they also look really, really cool. It's already evening now and we've arrived at the grand finale. Guys, I'm really hyped. This is probably the most magnificent subway station, metro station that I've ever seen in my life and that you've ever seen in your life. People are skating in front of the metro station. We have Soviet monuments here, but that's not why we came. That's exactly why we came. The station where we arrived is Kosmo Vela station with the theme of space travel. As you probably know, back then there was a competition between the USA and the Soviet Union to see who would be the first in space, and the Soviet Union won with Yuri Gagarin, the first man in space. And yes, an entire metro station is dedicated to this topic. I want to take my time with this station and show you all the details. Alright, let's begin. Here's the first picture. Chief designer, the top engineer, Korolyov. He was likely the most vital engineer in space travel. Let's move on, guys. Here's the name of the metro station. Of course, everything is done in blue colors, in the theme of space travel, and here you see the first woman who was ever in space, and her name was Tereshkova. That's right, Tereshkova. I want to look at the pictures with you. It's actually really exciting. I have to admit to you, I don't know this gentleman at all, but he's also a cosmonaut. Write in the comments who this is. There's just one thing that surprises me, guys. Where is Yuri Gagarin? The first man in space should be here too. Let's try to find him. Of course, the space theme is reflected everywhere alongside the pictures. Whether it's the columns or the ceiling, everything has this supernatural look, a real space vibe. And that's exactly what they wanted to achieve here, guys. Yes, so all these little details too, the ceilings, the columns. See, the tourists are taking pictures too. I'm not going to show you every single picture now because there are also some mythical figures that don't really mean anything to you, I'd say. But I'll walk through again. With this picture, I think we can wrap up this station quite well. With Yuri Gagarin, the first human in space. Hope you enjoyed this tour of some of the world's most beautiful metro stations. Exactly. Comment if you think there are even more beautiful ones in the world, maybe in Moscow. So guys, let's discuss it in the comments. Anyway, see you next time. Until then. Bye.